Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of our Food Films program. I am Sarah Webb. I am the Community Engagement Librarian for the Clark County Public Library. And tonight we are featuring the film Dirt, the Movie. It came out a few years ago. It's narrated by Jamie Lee Curtis. So it is a documentary about soil as a blanket statement about soil and how important soil is to our well-being. So I want to thank you for participating in the discussion this evening. Before we get started, I'd like to just kind of share our format tonight. We have a set of 4 clips from the film. And after each of those clips, we just have a round of just a few discussion questions just to get us chatting. And then I'm going to put up some poll questions and we'll see what kind of results we get with that as well. Our moderators are Miss Sherry Chen, and she is with SOUP, or Springfield, Ohio Urban Plant Folk, as well as Lee Teven. She is at the School of Innovation as a science teacher out at that school. So we are pleased to have them back to moderate for us this evening. And Lee, you can take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to play a clip. It's less than a minute. Our questions are, well, that was Wangari Maathai, and she was a Nobel Peace Prize winner sometime around 2000, in the 2000s, and she's from Kenya, and she's an activist, or she was an activist, and she you heard her describe the soil as the most precious mineral. And how have you heard dirt described, or have you ever described dirt this way?
Good.
She calls it the skin of the earth, and it's very poetic, you know.
Just in general terms, like rich soil, organic, you know, just in layman's kind of terms there, but yeah.
I heard an interview with somebody who worked with the Land Trust in Yellow Springs. I forget the name of it, but the man who was interviewed was talking about Ohio soil and just how he had so many ways to describe it, you know, and it was just, you know, like life-giving, essential, vital. It was beautiful to hear him, and it's rare to hear people talk that way about soil, you know. I guess unless they actually work with it all the time.
I've heard that we sit on here in
Turn your TV
Ohio, we sit on some of the richest soil on the planet, and
Yep, that's what he was saying. Like Ohio, Indiana, I think there was another state, maybe it's Pennsylvania, some of the richest soil in this area, you know, due to the glacial deposits. Yeah.
but I don't think that many people perceive it as a living entity, though.
No.
Yeah, Sherry and I have worked with some of our students, and they're really reluctant to, some of them are used to soil, but some are just really, they want gloves.
Yeah.
They don't want to dirty their shoes, and it's a shame, you know.
We've given dirt a bad rap. Dirt is dirt. Dirt is dirty.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. You know, it really stood out to me listening to this, you know, that it is something that we try to wash off of our cars and wash off of things. And it made me realize as I watched these people who are so intimate with the earth, how their relationship is so different from in a more developed country like ours, where we try to avoid it. We try to get away from it. We, you know.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, we want to cover it with concrete. The movie made me want to go out and get a handful and smell it,
Yes, yes.
and travel from place to place and smell it to learn the differences.
That's a good point, Terry. Has anybody heard the saying, the last crop is asphalt?
Oh,
No, but it's
no,
true.
but yeah.
Yeah. Once that goes down, concrete would fit in there too. Once that
Yeah.
goes down, it's over.
You're
I mean,
right.
not forever, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
I thought there was a movement for people that people were going back to the earth and they were doing a whole lot more gardening and all that type of thing. I mean, is that not true?
That's interesting you mentioned that. I think one of the articles that struck me on the cover of the Washington Post yesterday was in a heavily industrialized Japan, people are starting to move back to farms. There's a trend going on in Japan, according to that article yesterday, that they called it, I forget, it was some play on green acres, you know.
Right.
But yeah, even, I mean, you know, people in the heavily industrialized cities like Tokyo want to go back to the farms.
Right.
And Cheryl, I think you're correct. And there definitely has been that kind of I'm going to call it a beginning awareness, because it is in direct competition and direct contrast with conventional agriculture that is actually killing the soil, as Vandana Shiva said in the movie. But yet, when they are speaking, they are saying we're feeding, 6 billion people, when in reality, you can't go out in those fields and eat those things. It mostly goes into animal feed and processed food, which is actually making us sick.
Exactly.
And so the move back to gardening has been a kind of it is present, but it's got competition. It's very small, needs to be a lot bigger,
Yeah.
When you drive around and see the local gardens, and just in seeing them, you know how that makes you feel. And then drive through Illinois and the vast agribusiness,
Mm,
you're not going to get that feeling.
no.
It just isn't there at all.
I kind of think what goes around comes around though, because a guy I used to know years ago, he's not from here. He's from the South, and he raised crops with his family. He would, take off from school a couple of weeks a year to help them get the sugar cane and all that kind of stuff, cut down and ready for selling. And, he would go to the store all the time in the summer and buy vegetables that he could easily grow. And I was like, why are you, all about gardening, everything there is to know. Why aren't you using the ground that you have to buy these things? I just got sick of gardening.
Yeah.
But he knows how to do it. He knows what to do, but it's just like it's kind of cyclical. People go in and out of it. But yeah.
I can go ahead and post up some poll questions for this part. So let me, I'll shoot this one at you. Okay, you should see it up on your screen. It says, in general, most people realize the value of soil. Strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. Okay. Well, three of us say agree, and then it's kind of half and half on that one. So that's interesting. Okay.
I think most people, even though they might know as deep as we're going right now, most people understand that soil is important. You have to have soil grow crops, grow food. So it maybe not as deep as we're going right now, but I think most people realize that soil is important. That's why it's put down the grade. So.
Right.
I think that's true, Joe, and I think what they don't know, yeah, that's a really good point. And I think the differentiation comes between, do you know the value of living soil
Mm.
as opposed to dead soil? And that, I think that's where it all falls apart.
Hey, I've got another one here. I have conversations about soil with others. One more. Almost there. Okay. Okay, so a bit mixed still. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
It's a half and half.
It's kind of a new-ish topic to talk about. So
Yeah.
it's good. Okay, I just have one more before we show our next clip. I'll pull this up. I can easily recognize differences in soil. What do you think?
Hmm.
Okay. Most agree they can recognize differences in soil. I guess that's like a loaded question, isn't it? Like,
Sort of, yeah.
This soil's hard, this soil's,
Right.
So yes, I guess we can. If we're
What's
living,
sandy, what's clay? Some of it's easy.
right, rocky. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Okay. I think we're ready for our next clip.
So you saw several examples of how people connect to the soil. And what stood out to you in these descriptions of people's relationship to the soil?
The soil was so alive to them.
Yeah.
Equal partners.
Yes. I loved Pierre Rabhi's description of how, he describes it as a mother, a father, and as a lover,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a thing, it's a relationship.
No. Yeah.
And I think in a relationship too, there are more perceptions of equality. And I think there's more perceptions of care, as opposed to, I get to just extract whatever I want from you.
Mhm.
There's a give and a take, I think, that is implied when we hear people talk like that.
Yes. Yes.
It parallels human relationships. The more you invest in a relationship, the more, not selfishly saying the more you get out of it, but the more you invest in taking care of the soil, amending it, using it the way it should be used, then you get a lot of benefit from that.
Very symbiotic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a space in there where I think Vandana Shiva was saying something about like, I am going to take from you, but I am going to give,
Yes.
understanding that I am going to give back just as much.
I wonder why we don't just bury our people out in the backyard. I mean, we're gonna run it like dirt anyway. I mean, it makes me wonder how we got into all this, preservation, and then they put you in a big vault, and then they put you 6 feet under and all that to try to, I guess, say you won't smell or something, and you're
What a
going
big
back to dirt
mistake that is.
anyway.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's a terrible mistake we're making.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and I just don't get it. I really don't.
We'd be great fertilizer.
Right. I know I would be.
Okay.
Put me under a big tree or something, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's a unique adjective. I would be a great fertilizer.
Yeah.
It's very unique.
Yeah, it opens up all kinds of questions why we do the things we do.
Right. Right.
Oh.
It's interesting though.
That we're very short-sighted, and we have not done it for that long. At some place in this movie, they talk about what humans have done over the last 100 years or so
Oh, yeah.
that has created such damage
Wow.
for most of humans' existence.
Mm.
We were kind of where we needed to be with our Earth.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We've blown that.
Mm. Crazy. And don't tell me why it is. Is it because of money?
Mm.
Everything's because of money.
Okay. I thought so. I just wanted to hear you say
Yeah.
pursuit of the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's what will ultimately destroy us.
I'll go ahead and shoot up the next poll questions here. Let's see. In general, people are appreciative of the benefits of soil.
Hmm.
Mm.
What do you think?
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
Yeah,
These
because
are hard.
it's important what kind of who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Who.
Yeah.
If they have plants or if they even don't, or if they like flowers or don't like flowers, or some people don't even know nothing about soil. So
Mhm.
how do you?
Let's see, you got, just one more. Sorry, we'll go ahead and, there we go.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're okay. Let's see, most of us
Okay.
agree people are appreciative of the benefits of soil.
Okay.
That's great.
I think if you make people think about soil, they're going to say they appreciate it. It's just that most people don't think about soil.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just one more before we show our next clip. In general, people take care of soil as they do their loved ones. What do you think? Okay. Strongly disagree to
Wow.
disagree, right?
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. Right.
Okay. Our next clip is going to be the hummingbird story. Good. I love this story,
I know.
and I hope it resonates with all of you. But what do you think, like when we confront seemingly insurmountable environmental problems, do you think most people react like the hummingbird or the other animals?
Unfortunately, the other animals,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if they even notice, even if they even are looking in the right direction.
Right.
So what do we do to keep ourselves from getting discouraged? You know, if we try to be the hummingbird, you know, what are some things that we do to keep discouragement at bay?
We hang out with other hummingbirds.
Yeah, all right.
Do things like share this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, a lot of people today don't think that we're in any jeopardy at all, of course.
This new movement towards these house plants, so I think it's turning a lot of people around. We've got some young women in our office, and they have so many plants, and they're so pretty. And I know that they've had to study the types of soil that they need for the different plants, because some of them are like succulent, and some of them are the other kind. I don't know what you call them, but they're just gorgeous. And I know that they know what they're doing. So that's good. That makes me feel good about the future, because there's a whole lot of young people that are doing that now.
Little steps make all
Right.
the difference.
Yeah, and Cheryl, I don't know if you remember, but this summer you really helped me out a lot at Springfield High School with my
Oh,
student. Do you
yeah.
remember?
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah,
did a
that was
lot of
fun.
canning of fresh fruits and vegetables, and this young lady was thinking about starting a business, and Cheryl came and encouraged her.
Her stuff was really good too. I still got some of that.
Oh man, that was really good. Yeah.
Canned cherries, just
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. She was she's really, and it didn't have too much sugar in it. She's
Yes.
really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was her whole thing. She wanted, we had recipes, but we tailored them to highlight the fruits or the vegetables and cut down on the sugar.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
wow.
So yeah, I think it's important, like Sherry said, to hang out with other hummingbirds. I,
Right.
so I think that is good.
I think that needs to be a new tagline. Find your hummingbirds.
I think
Yeah.
I think too, a lot of people don't realize the forest on fire. You know what I mean? Until you watch a video like this, or you get to realize, like, for a person like me, he doesn't farm a lot. I mean, I didn't realize the issues with the soil or things like that. You know what I mean? So a lot of people might not realize this, the forest on fire. So.
Yeah.
Well, Wangari Maathai was quite the hummingbird. She was imprisoned several times by Daniel Arap Moi, the dictator of Kenya, and she was fighting deforestation of Kenya, and she started what's called the Greenbelt movement. She and many women planted trees, and she was beaten several times, imprisoned. But she didn't give up. And she really embodies the hummingbird in the story. So
Just do our best.
yeah. So,
I'll shoot the next poll questions up here.
okay.
Let's see. I can get to them. There they are. Most environmental problems are too difficult to solve. Disagree. That's a good thing.
Good.
Very good thing. All right. Oops. Next poll. discouragement keeps many people from getting involved with environmental problems. Most of us agree. Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, so these were some examples of just transformation by working and connecting with dirt, soil, whatever, plants. So was it, and there was, I don't know if you heard this, but even the children, you know, their teachers noticed that they were less aggressive after they gardened. Was that surprising?
No.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Then why doesn't every school teach gardening?
I know. Should.
Probably doing it more than they used to.
Yeah.
Just when you introduce people to nature,
Mhm.
it's a changing thing.
Yes.
It goes beyond dirt and gardening. I think it's nature, period.
Mm.
I've had opportunities to introduce kids to nature, and it's pretty powerful stuff.
Mm.
We found a praying mantis today, a very large female, and our custodian picked her up, and you know the kids were like all gathered around her. I didn't see her at first, and the kids were all gathered around her, and she didn't want to leave his hand. He was going to put her on a tree or a plant, and it was just so neat to see the students not scream, you know, like, ah, gross, but
I think it's really cool. Toward the end of this movie, there was talk about cooperation. Right there, you know, we heard a little bit of it, and I think it was mentioned a little bit more later in the movie as well. But I think when we all go out into nature and into a garden, we're in a setting where we aren't, you know, I was in a meeting earlier this week where it came out in that meeting, in the discussion, that we are so encouraged to compete. And you see that in our children. It's so evident in our children. And many settings encourage us to compete. It's a competition for resources or to be first or whatever. And I think when you go out into nature, it kind of removes the need to compete. And in this meeting I was in, we talked about the fact that as we begin to do more raising of our own food and developing local food systems, we have to relearn how to cooperate as a species, at least, especially in developed countries, because the competition for the dollar is fierce. And it's almost like a skill that we have to relearn, to cooperate, to figure out how to build a system together instead of just going in and going, I'm just going to get what I can get out of this. We're so extractive in everything that we do. And I think some of these movies help us see that.
Yeah.
It's kind of heartbreaking to have to see that about ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, we think we can operate alone, and it's just not true.
I was just going to say that, Terry, you know, even, you know, since the pandemic, it's so isolating, so isolated, you know, and the more that we realize that we're all connected, and we're connected to each other, and we're connected to our surroundings and nature, and
we need each other.
right. Right. Well, I have just a few more poll questions I'll put up for you. Thanks for letting us pick your brain tonight a little bit. Okay. There are spiritual and physical benefits to working with soil and plants. There's just one more. Let's see. Just one more of you.
Where is it? I can't find it.
Oh, on your screen. Do you see it on your screen?
No.
You don't? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and it's okay. I can end it early.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Bingo.
Strongly agree. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Okay, just one more question. This is a good one. Gardening can transform people's lives. All right. And yes, of course, can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Excellent. Excellent. Well, that's the formal part of our discussion is over. Does anybody have just any thoughts they want to share? Overall opinions of the movie or what we've talked about this evening?
The movie was great. Keep sending stuff out, Sarah. I tried to ignore you. You sent another one out today, and it's like, okay, I'll do it. I'm so glad I did.
Yes, yes.
I really know it. Yeah.
No, it's actually it's Soup and Sherry and Lee, and it's it's all them too. Cooperative effort here. So,
Yeah.
100%.
I'm grateful to all of you.
Well,
That was an important movie to watch.
we're grateful for you too. I would really like to hear if people have ideas, since this is important information, not just for even as new information for people to hear, but for people to hear. There are some things that I hear are movies that I watch and I go, you know what, I need to be reminded of this, every year or two. What kinds of things do you think that we could be doing that will help keep this kind of information flowing for people? Are there any suggestions that anybody might have for things that would help keep, in fun ways and whatever, get it back in our faces?
That's a good question.
I have to think about it.
That's exactly, I need time to think about that. Yeah.
Okay. If you have ideas, knowing that all of you have Sarah's contact info, if you have ideas, would you send them to her and she'll just forward them to us? Because I think it would be really good to hear what people think. What can we do
Mary and
today?
Lee, tell me your roles again. Just remind me.
I teach science at the School of Innovation, and we have a school garden.
Okay.
I coordinate a little nonprofit called SOUP, Springfield, Ohio Urban Plant Folk.
That's right.
And we do a wide variety of things focused on gardening and food in South Springfield.
They're
And I teach-
fantastic.
And I teach at a School of Innovation. Also do social studies and head up the community initiative program. As
Okay.
well as I got roped in with Sherry here with Community Food Project grants. So do that. So
All right. Thank you. You
I
guys
work with
do good
Sherry
things.
too. I work with her with the grant that she's got. And I work with the city of Springfield also.
Okay. Okay.
Joyce?
Oh, I'm with Soup, and I also work with the Perrin Woods Garden,
Okay.
with all the people who have a garden there. I work with them and coordinate watering and different things that we do there.
And farm stands, Joyce.
Yeah, I do farm stand too
What you do?
during the
Okay.
summer.
You got it.
If a person wanted to volunteer with any of you, is there an opportunity?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Always.
Absolutely. It's part of SOUP's focus to provide what's called multiple points of entry, meaning if you want to come to food security and food through cooking classes, we have some of those. If you want to come to it through gardening, we have opportunities at the new project that we're working at, which is Melrose Acres, that's being established on McCain Avenue. We also have a greenhouse that we lease, that we grow things in. And we also operate 2 farm stands in the neighborhoods, one at Perrin Woods and one at School of Innovation. And let you know, working at the farm stand is really fun. I mean, it's a real glimpse into a community beginning to come back together around food.
Yeah.
And so all of those are possibilities for,
Okay.
if you have an interest, you can either go through Sarah,
Okay.
or as far as getting in touch with all the rest of us. SOUP has a Facebook page, but all of us hate Facebook. So we're not on there very often.
Okay.
But the other thing that is possible is that pretty soon the Melrose Acres project, Joe has created a website for that. We just have not been able to publish it quite yet. But the Melrose Acres will have a website and you'll be able to contact us that way. So any one of those ways are good. But we're just not really responsive on Facebook. It's just important to know that.
Sure.
And you can get email addresses from Sarah. So
Okay. Okay.
we'd love, you're a passionate person and just would love to have you be part.
I'm an old lady. I can't do a lot of gardening, but I can do a lot of other things.
If you like your hands in the dirt, when we're at the greenhouse, we're all standing to do most of all of that. We start all of our plants from seed, and we support several school gardens. And that's part of what we've observed is that not everybody wants to garden. Not everybody has the health to garden or the physical capability, which is why you can come to these activities in other ways.
Right.
Join in with the cooking class, join in with, helping out at the farm stand.
I started working in the greenhouses at age 15, and I did it through the end of my college years. There's no more wonderful, peaceful place to be than a greenhouse.
Got it.
That
Yeah,
I
you
know.
got it. And the other thing that we do that you might enjoy, Terry, is that no matter what you're doing with us, whether you come to like the food preservation classes, or you help in the greenhouse, or you help at the farm stand, part of what you get to do is to take home food.
That's nice. Working at the farm stand sounds fun too.
It is fun.
Sarah
It
can
is
tell you I'm a bit of a people person.
I
awesome.
was gonna say, Terry, you sound like a professor or something. I mean, I would love just to hear you read a book or tell a story or something like that.
Yikes.
I mean,
I could probably tell some stories.
Well, I'll tell you that Terry is one of my absolute favorite people on this planet. I love
Oh,
Bless your heart, Sarah.
I
Bless
do.
your heart.
I do. So I can vouch for Terry extremely.
No, y'all are awesome. Thanks so much for being
I've enjoyed being a part of this, and you may hear from me.
awesome. That'd be great, Terry. Thank you.
All right.
No obligation. I always tell
Yes,
people.
okay.
that.
Thank
No
you. Thank you.
obligation. You don't have to show up every time. Don't have to show up at all, but
Planting
think-
seeds in a greenhouse, that's a fun thing to do.
okay. Well, let me know because we will start seeding in pretty much in February.
I was gonna say, that's gonna be soon.
It is, it
Yeah.
is. Working on seed orders really
Where
soon.
is your greenhouse?
Oh, we leased the old McKinnons. Do you know,
Ah.
behind Rowley's?
On North
Beautiful.
Lime.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Dang, good for you. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal resource. Phenomenal.
Yeah, you're not kidding. That's a good place.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you may hear from me. What fun.
That'd
What
be
fun.
awesome. Yeah.
Well, it just, in the middle of February, it's what we all need is to plant seeds in dirt,
Right.
Yeah.
but get you through to spring.
So we
Mhm.
have a whole bunch of winter greens planted in the garden at Melrose Acres, but we also have the same greens planted in the greenhouse right now.
Okay.
And so you can harvest greens when you go home. And it is wonderful at that time of year, not only to be in the presence of the greens, but then when those first seeds emerge, it is just like, oh, there's hope.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
There's an end to winter, and it's
Yes,
so
yes.
it's so nice to hear and see. Excuse me.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Refreshing.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you once again, all of you, for coming tonight. Thank you to Sherry and Lee for moderating and providing all this wonderful content. And just to let you know, tonight's program has been recorded. So you can go back and watch on the library's YouTube channel that's on our website at ccplohio.org. Our next Food Films program is coming up on Tuesday, December 14th at 6:30 p.m. And that is going to feature the film Kiss the Ground, which is
Oh.
narrated by Woody Harrelson. That's a relatively new film that's come out, also about the benefits of soil and other topics there. So don't miss out. Tuesday,
Sure.
December 14th.
Question,
Yes.
question, do we need to rent Kiss the Ground, or is it on YouTube as well?
It is on YouTube, and I will send out an email with the link to the film on YouTube and a link to the Zoom program so you can participate.
Great.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
all right. Well,
Thank you.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll see you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
Yeah, happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.